Good morning. Today on Spotlight, remembering Vincent Chin 40 years after he was beaten to death. His tragic passing sparked a movement against Asian American hate crimes. Rebecca Islam, director of the Vincent Chin 40th, will join me to share details of his week-long commemoration. And later on our Sunday morning program, attorney Tanya Myers-Phillips will update us on what's next for the new Detroit Right to Counsel ordinance after a unanimous vote from the Detroit City Council. It's Sunday, June the 12th. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. Rebecca Islam, thank you so much for joining us today on Spotlight. Let's go back a little bit, because a whole lot of people weren't around 40 years ago, or they just may not remember. Give us a quick recap. What happened 40 years ago that makes us come to the point we are today for this 40th rededication?
Thank you, Chuck, for having me. It's truly an honor to be here. As you mentioned, it's been 40 years since the murder of Vincent Chin in Detroit and the subsequent miscarriage of justice, which ignited the modern Asian American civil rights movement. Vincent Chin was a 27-year-old male on the eve of his bachelor party when he was beaten to death by two white men with a baseball bat during a time of intense anti-Asian resentment. And the killers were sentenced to 3 years probation and fined $3,000 for the violent murder by a judge who said, these are the kind of men that you send to jail, and they never actually spent a day in jail. And the killing of Vincent Chin 40 years ago, again, gave the rise to the civil rights movement for Asian Americans as a community that united over the miscarriage of justice to form a multicultural, multiracial force to combat mistreatment and demanded change.
Sure. And these were auto workers who committed the crime, and Vincent Chin was a young engineering student. They had some words, and there were reportedly some racial slurs, and blamed him for some of the downturn and what was happening in the auto industry at that time. You are unleashing a week-long commemoration, rededication, different type of events. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Vincent Chin Remembrance and Rededication events over 4 days starting June 16th through June 19th will bring together original organizers with the new generation of social justice leaders. We'll examine the impact of Vincent Chin's legacy through dialogue and conversation. There's a history tour, arts and culture, and along with community leaders and the community at large. So we invite the community to join us over the 4 days. There's going to be a film series on the 16th of June and the 17th as well at the Detroit Film Theater featuring Who Killed Vincent Chin. And on June 18th, we'll have national conversations on Asian Americans, America and democracy. And then there's an evening of Asian American arts and culture, community, just a series of community dialogue panels, as well as an interfaith ceremony.
Sure, absolutely. And we'll put some of this information up on the screen, as well as the website where people can get more information. Rebecca, as you said, this ignited a movement across this nation. Although it happened in our backyard here in Michigan, it received national, even international attention. We know that there are still hate crimes going on, but if you could say there's something positive that has happened in these 40 years, what would it be? What is it that we perhaps have learned or hopefully need to learn?
Yeah, so I think the legacy of Vincent Chin and the campaign for justice offers lessons on people of how people of all races, including Asian Americans, Black Americans, and people from all creeds and walks of life can mobilize to fight against intolerance and bigotry and all kinds of all kinds of hate, to build a beloved and a community, just community that is safe and welcoming to all. So for whatever reason, people might have stayed silent, they are waking up to that and really just standing in solidarity, I think, are lessons that the community can take from all of this.
We're going to take a real quick break, and when we come back, we want to talk about how the public can get involved in this, because I know that you're looking for volunteers to get involved in some of the various events that are coming up. We'll be right back with Rebecca Islam right after this. Ms. Islam, we know that you're looking for volunteers to get involved with this. Tell us exactly what you're looking for.
I started as a community organizer, as a volunteer organizer, and it's been a great honor to be an integral part of the Vincent Chin 40th Remembrance and Rededication. Vincent Chin's death was pivotal in sparking a massive Asian American activist movement in this country, and is a reminder for today's generation to continue to create meaningful change. And it's at the cornerstone of my mission as a community advocate to end Asian hate through informing the community of dynamics of the Asian American experience. So I really encourage young people to get involved, and we're looking for volunteers from pre-event, so starting as early as Monday, June 14th, to help us get ready for this great event that's going to happen over the weekend. We're looking for ushers, folks to help with registration, and just anyone. We're always talking about meaningful change, how to get involved, and this is the time. Get involved, the time to get involved. And you can find out more about how to get involved with volunteering with us on our website at vincentchin.org. Get involved. Really, this is the time. If you've been waiting, there is not a perfect moment, but I will say this is the right moment.
Sure. Rebecca, reflect a little bit. We are still seeing crimes directed towards Asian Americans, and as you said, also to other people of color that we would refer to as hate crimes. Why are we seeing this, and why are we seeing an escalation of these? Because if you look at the FBI numbers, they're going up, not down.
Yeah, and I think even just the recent pandemic that we're still experiencing, I think, has contributed to the current tsunami of anti-Asian hate has led to more than 10,000 self-reported hate incidents to the reporting website of Stop AAPI Hate. And we've seen mass shooting occurred in Atlanta and Indianapolis, and Asian elders have been fatally attacked. The odds of Asian women and girls being attacked, violently assaulted, targets of hate crimes are 2.1. And we've seen that rise in the recent 2 years since the pandemic because of prior administration associating a pandemic to a race, and I think that has an attribution towards that. And for some, for whatever reason, people might have been silent many years ago, they're waking up and just saying enough is enough and raising their voice. And it is, I would say, partly, we're tired of being marginalized and misinformed and misunderstood. And we're just really standing up to it, whether it's through social media or through rallies or whatever the means may be.
Would it be safe to say that the greatest weapon against this is education of individuals, but also making sure that it is widespread in the public, and have these type of conversations that you're orchestrating now so that people are better informed and not make stereotypical impressions?
Yes, absolutely. And one of our big pieces of this Remembrance and Rededication is a legacy guide. One of the co-founders of American Citizens for Justice that led this movement has put together a legacy guide that offers lessons and action items on how to educate your neighbors, how to educate those around you who might not have the Asian American experience, and really captures advocacy and the work that has been done over the 40 years. So that is going to be the legacy guide. It's going to be rolling out next week during our events.
Sure. Quick final question in a little bit of time we have left. Have you talked to anyone in the Vincent Chin family recently, and will they be involved in these various events, or at least some of them?
Yes, we are in contact with the Vincent Chin family, and members of the family will be joining us throughout some of these events.
All right. Rebecca Islam, Director of the Vincent Chin 40th Remembrance and Rededication, Thanks so much for joining us today on Spotlight and sharing all of this important information. And coming up, we'll talk to attorney Tanya Myers-Phillips, project director for the Detroit Right to Counsel Coalition. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, since the last time we talked, before you were on the front end pushing for this, now you've got it. The Detroit City Council gave you a unanimous vote, so everybody agreed. What's next in the process? Because there are a lot of laws on the books, but how do you make this one stick and have a real substance?
Absolutely. Great question. Well, first, we are absolutely thrilled with the victory and want to thank all of our coalition members and City of Detroit residents and allies and Detroit City Council for realizing the need for systemic change and passing it with the unanimous vote and that vote of confidence. And now, as we say, the second phase of the work begins. So
the real work begins, right?
Yes. So we have a strong foundation and we need to build the house. So under the ordinance, the City of Detroit must create an Office of Eviction Defense, must establish a procurement process to retain culturally competent vendors to provide those legal services and to provide those outreach services. And of course, we need full funding. This is not an effort that will be able to be successful if it doesn't have the resources required. So those are the next steps in the process. And between now and October 1st, we are hopeful that the City of Detroit will continue building the house and stepping up to the plate and putting the meat on the bones to make sure that all Detroiters are able to fully exercise their right to full legal representation facing eviction. And we need it now more than ever.
Sure. Attorney Phillips, when you say put meat on the bones and make sure you have the resources necessary to make this stick, I assume you're talking about dinero, money.
Dinero, yes.
Yeah. Give us some idea, what amount of funds do you feel you have to have, at least in terms of that seed money, to make sure that you've got adequate resources?
At least in the first year of operation, we're going to need at least $17 million. And you wonder, where in the world do you get that figure from?
Sure.
Well, we do have a report that is available for the public to view, the estimated economic impact of a right to counsel for the City of Detroit. And what we've learned from studying, this scenario, not only in Detroit, but in cities all across the nation, that this is an investment. It's an initial investment that we have to make in our community to provide enough attorneys, enough legal representation, enough outreach and support staff to address the amount of need in our community. But with that, we also have learned that there's a return on investment, and there's at least a 3-to-1 return on investment that the City of Detroit can expect by investing in a right to counsel. So while the initial startup costs are high, because the rate of evictions are high, right? And unfortunately, they are going up. So now is the time to strike. Now is the time to, I can't even say get ahead of the issue because we're at a crisis point, but now it's time to catch up with the crisis and get a handle on things and invest in the right to counsel. And the City of Detroit will see the return coming back, the return in residents that are remaining in the City of Detroit, the return by individuals who are safe and secure in their homes and they don't need to access emergency systems in the City of Detroit. So the short-term investment, yes, a short-term investment, but in the larger scheme of things, the dividend that the City of Detroit will reap, not only just financially, but just maintaining the moral fabric of our community and being stable, having stable housing in our community is well worth that initial cost. But the bottom line is it does take financial resources.
Sure. The Gilbert Family Fund, how much money is in that you're going to receive?
Well, the Gilbert Family Fund is $12 million over 3 years. And the thing to remember or to be aware of is that that is a private donation to 3 legal service providers. It is not a donation to the City of Detroit that directly supports the right to counsel ordinance. So the legal service providers who are the recipients of those funds, that is well needed because it is at a crisis level, and that will allow those service providers to sustain operations while the city of Detroit is while we're on this campaign for the city of Detroit to step up and fully fund this initiative.
Absolutely.
So
and the fact
it's
that you
helpful
got
for the short term, but we need a long-term public funding
right.
stream to sustain this.
And the fact that you got a unanimous vote from council, that's probably a pretty good sign that they're going to find the money. And I know that in the weeks to come, we're going to be talking to Council President Mary Sheffield, who was a champion of this legislation, just to get some more inside view on what council will do with it from this point on. We're going to take a quick little break. We'll come right back with some more questions. Don't go away. And welcome back to Spotlight, talking to attorney Tanya Myers-Phillips of the Detroit Right to Counsel Coalition. Attorney Myers-Phillips, do you have enough attorneys right now? Or the fact that this got passed by council, do you now all of a sudden have people knocking on the door saying, hey, I'm willing to help out?
Not yet, not yet. You need time to build the house. So those funds need to be released. The contracts need to be, I should back up. There needs to be a procurement process established through the city of Detroit, and then requests for proposals need to be issued, and then attorneys can apply, for those contracts. So those are steps that need to happen. And I believe that if the resources are there, then you will be able to have enough legal representation. But right now, without those steps having occurred, no, there are not enough attorneys to serve everyone under the ordinance. So we remain at a critical point of need. Again, we're happy to have the foundation established, but we can't get distracted, I guess, or complacent without finishing building the house.
Sure. I assume this is not a case that there are not enough trained attorneys in this area. It's just that you don't have them on board yet. Or
Correct.
Are we looking at a situation where there are not enough trained attorneys in this specialty area?
I believe there are enough trained attorneys. I do. Certainly attorney recruitment can be an issue and a challenge, asking individuals to, work in the nonprofit sector, that can be a challenge. But I believe it's one that we in Detroit can overcome and rise to the occasion. Sure. But right now we have, a number of attorneys that are working in the court. We have a number of attorneys that I believe would like to be able to provide services in the court, and the city of Detroit, along with the Detroit Right to Counsel Coalition and other partners that are interested in making this effort successful, can get there. So the attorneys are there, and it's our job, I think, as a community to make sure that we have the infrastructure in place and the correct program designed to recruit and retain talented attorneys that want to make a difference in the city of Detroit.
Absolutely. Attorney Myers-Phillips, I should probably back up a little bit. Tell us, for the person that maybe hasn't really been following this, even though it's been in the news a lot, who's eligible for this? Because as you said, the evictions are going up, they aren't going down. So obviously we still have a problem issue out there. But for the average person out there, so they know, are they eligible for this? Who's eligible, and how do they go about finding the information?
Sure. Well, under the Detroit Right to Counsel ordinance, you're eligible for full legal representation if your household income does not exceed 200% of the federal poverty level. That's the eligibility standard under the ordinance. And if you need assistance, then you can do a couple of things. One, you can make sure, first and foremost, you make your court date. Do not wait. Make sure you go to court. And at court, you can request and say, I would like to have legal representation. And many attorneys are on site at the court, so you can make contact that way. You can also go to the Detroit Eviction Prevention website, and you can fill out your information online, or you can call the Detroit Eviction Prevention phone number to be in contact with an attorney and go through that intake process. But roughly 200% of the federal poverty level is the standard under the Detroit Right to Counsel ordinance, and that is the standard we should look at to make sure that it's fully funded.
Sure. Attorney, what's the success rate? If people come to you and say, I've got an issue here, I'm trying my best to stay in my house, save my house, I assume they have a much better chance of that happening if they get legal representation than if they try to deal with the system themselves?
Oh my goodness, yes. In Detroit, you are 18 times more likely to avoid eviction and remain in your house if you have legal representation. Eviction is a legal process, and the courts are, designed for lawyers essentially. So we want individuals to connect with legal representation. The odds of success when you're represented by an attorney is at 18 times more likely. Legal services attorneys in Detroit, in terms of helping their clients avoid eviction, are about a 90% success rate, which is pretty good. So the odds are high if we can just connect the community with the resources and connect the resource providers with a sustainable funding stream and quality program design. We can get ahead of this housing crisis that we have, this eviction crisis in the city of Detroit.
Yeah. Final question. How do we rate with other cities, especially other large cities? Do most large cities have this ordinance, or are we unique?
No, we're not unique. This is a movement, and we're proud to be a part of it in the city of Detroit. So Detroit is the 15th city in the nation, along with 3 states that have enacted right to counsel laws, and they will only increase. And some of the housing trends, that we see in Detroit, they are happening across the nation, and I believe that we're at a turning point in terms of how we think about the judicial system and access to justice and connecting this with the public health crisis that's going on right now. And that's a good thing, that we're starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So I can't say Detroit is unique, but Detroit is, I guess, on the front end of the spectrum of this movement we see happening nationwide.
Very good. All right, Attorney Tanya Myers-Phillips of the Detroit Right to Counsel Coalition, with that new ordinance in place. Thanks so much for joining us today on Spotlight. We'll stay in touch with you because this process, as you said, we've now moved to the next crucial step in this, and we want to make sure that we follow this all the way through to make sure that it has some real teeth in it.
Thank you. And if I could just give the website, it's www.facebook.com/Detroit RTC to keep up with the coalition as we keep up and make sure that this ordinance lives up to its full potential in the city of Detroit.
Absolutely, duly noted. Thanks so much, and have a great day.
Thank you, Chuck. You too.
Thank you. And I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.